Now, going over to other interesting political news, you have the Chicago mayor says the city is on the verge of collapse due to illegal immigration. Will he be lambasted and called a Republican now? For decades, Chicago has been a sanctuary city, and they also, they have all the gun laws they want. They say, we'll fix things. The Chicago Bears are a great metaphor for Chicago, perhaps. Every time growing up, and again, I come from the Midwest, every time there's an issue, they go, oh yeah, they'll be good next year. Chicago will be safe next year. They'll attract more businesses next year. No, absolutely not. Now, this comes from an account on X, and this comes from End Wokeness, and he says, quote, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson warns that every city service is on the verge of collapse thanks to illegals, unquote. And this short video got 2.3 million views in the first 24 hours and 22,000 likes. And without further ado, and again, he may be morally vacuous, but the mayor of Chicago does have a redeeming quality. As all men showed, he did suit up, of course.
In Chicago or anywhere else in the country, the public good is already stressed. Whether it's our transportation system, our healthcare system, our education system, all of these systems are already stretched to meet the demands of families who have been here. Over the past 7 months, it's been an incredible strain on every aspect of city services and in Chicago.
There's nothing more hilarious or ironic than what's happening in Chicago right now, because again, people in the southern states have been saying this for decades. Their school systems have been stretched thin. Their social services has been stretched thin because they have X amount of resources and they have more and more people needing those resources. So, and yet places like New York and Chicago, they've been encouraging illegal immigration for decades. And again, my family came here from Cuba. Contrary to popular belief, we actually flew here. It was one of the last flights out when Fidel took over. But, and truth be told, I'm actually not good at swimming. Fun little fact. But, as well as this is where we also came here legally. We did it the right way. Now, I suspect most of the comments will be in agreement with End Wokeness. Now, I also suspect maybe half of them will be roasting the city of Chicago for, again, getting what they asked for. But, let's dive in the comments and find out. First comment comes from Mark, who says, quote, who didn't see this happening? And is the laughing, I forget the newspaper editor from the Spider-Man films, was an instance where he's bombastically laughing, and the text says, quote, sanctuary cities are now bitching about being used as sanctuary cities, unquote, getting 2.9 thousand likes. Wealth Turtle, who gets an A+ for marketing, is in fact a profile picture of a turtle, though I don't think turtles can type too well. So I'll have to say this alleged Wealth Turtle says, quote, illegals are the least of Chicago's problems, unquote, getting 217 likes. And their problems are many, many problems. But of course, they'll be fixed. Next year it'll be safe. So we're told. Doc Contrarian says, quote, so how's the sanctuary city status working for you? Now you have just a taste of what Texas and other border states have been dealing with for years. Enjoy, unquote. They got 1,000 likes. Western Lensman says, quote, doesn't he mean thanks to the Biden regime, unquote, getting 472 likes? Well, Turtle says, quote, that's exactly what they voted for, unquote, getting 956 likes. Let's see here. Caroline says, quote, the solution is simple, and she did a retweet for someone by the name of Caroline Weidler saying, quote, end foreign aid, militarize our border, begin mass deportation, prosecute those in government who are guilty of treason, unquote. They got 624 likes. Frank D. Baushin says, quote, now apply what's happening to Chicago to the whole country. Brandon, because I assume the burden Chicago now feels to mass migration is felt throughout America. Americans have been asked to foot the bill for their own invasion, unquote, getting 477 likes. See here. The Appalachian Podcast says, quote, so, not white people in rural communities nowhere near the city. Always thought it was our fault cities failed, unquote, getting 191 likes. Let's see here. Planet of Memes, who, I don't want to say F- for marketing, but they didn't even respond in a meme form. They responded in text. But this alleged Planet of Memes responded by saying, quote, "You asked for this. I don't feel sorry for your horribly run city," unquote, getting 133 likes. Do one or two more. One bad dude simply said, "This is on the Democrats. Be careful what you wish for," unquote, getting 269 likes. John Hawkins says, quote, "So naturally, he must be against illegal immigration because it would be terrible for any place in America to be stuck with these problems because, oh wait, he's in favor of illegal immigration. He just doesn't want to be burned with them in Chicago," unquote. Getting 421 likes. Savaniah says, quote, "It's his own fault. Every Democrat-run city voted for this," unquote, getting 153 likes. Red Wave Press, who, in Plus Marketing, their profile picture is in fact of a red wave. They say, quote, "Illegal immigrants have completely overrun every major city in America. Woke policies are going to end America. Follow if you agree," unquote, getting 322 likes. Let's see here. Mr. Leadslinger says, quote, "His hair is embarrassing," unquote, getting 79 likes. Evan Dreyer says, quote, "All this complaining and they are just going to vote for that person, letting it happen again next year. So I don't see how these people can sit there and listen to them. LOL," getting 72 likes, which, historically speaking, Chicago has been voting the same for near 100 years. It's getting close. And a wise man once said, doing the same thing again, and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. But like the Chicago Bears, maybe next year they'll fix everything. Maybe. I mean, statistically speaking, they never have and they never will. But, I mean, what is it, 0.001% chance? Let's see here. Selgin Gaudals says, quote, "That's ridiculous. He said and confirmed they were a sanctuary city, so I'm not sure what his complaint is," unquote, getting 108 likes. Let's see here. Thinking West said, quote, "And this is exactly what you and your party pushed for over the last decade," unquote, getting 40 likes. Tom Pogue says, quote, "He literally just read a list of things the Republicans said would happen if we didn't secure our borders," unquote, getting 55 likes. Now, exactly, that's what makes it so hilariously ironic. Now, I wonder if the same thing is happening in New York City. The mayor's doing the same exact thing, saying all these concerns, and yet, it'll be interesting. Will they call this person racist or Republican? Because that's what they did to Republicans. When Republicans brought about these concerns that their systems were going to be overwhelmed, they don't have the resources necessary to accommodate additional people who are coming here illegally, they were all lambasted, they were all ridiculed, they were all called racist, they were all called evil Republicans. And yet, now they're doing the same talking points. And you can't help but think MSNBC or CNN, they're not going to critique these people at all. So it'll be interesting to see, and again, a lot of these cities are being stretched thinner and thinner with having more and more demands put on them, but less and less resources. Do they vote differently? Does the U.S. do anything at all differently, or is it just going to do the same thing as we've done the status quo for decades? Let me know. Be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you again for taking the time to tune in today. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of January, so if you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a comment is a great way to give me some feedback. Let me know how I could improve the show. Liking the video also is greatly appreciated since it helps with the YouTube and Rumble algorithms so the video gets more shared. Also, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight,